Hi, this is Chris Sosnowski from B&W Control Systems Integration with another video on a review of a couple of products for the iPad2. I will be reviewing both the Griffin Survivor case for the iPad2 as well as the Otter Box iPad2 Defender series case. So this is the Griffin case, and I've taken them both kind of out of their packaging, and this is the Otter Box case here. So the the Griffin case here is sold direct by Griffin, or you can get it from a reseller, and it retails for $80. And the Otter Box case, which is right here, again, you can buy it direct from Otterbox's website for $90, or you can find a retailer that might sell it to you for a little bit less. So real quick, we'll just go ahead and look at the cases and the kind of the differences between those. So right off the bat, the biggest difference between the two cases, and you can have a hard time seeing here, but hopefully you can see the reflection. There is a protective cover on the Griffin Survivor case for the iPad that actually protects the screen. The OtterBox's front cover here is there's no protective coating on there. So if you want to protect the screen of your iPad with the case itself, the Griffin case is definitely the way to go. So I actually have an iPad2 here. This is just kind of as it comes stock. The iPad that I have is actually the Verizon Wireless 16 gigabyte model. But I'm just going to show you how this assembles in the case, and then maybe talk about some of the pros and cons of it. So both the cases work similarly in that it's kind of like a clamshell. You place the iPad into the case, and you have to make sure that the jacks and buttons, and that's the microphone and then the switches on the side, all line up in the case. And then you place the protective case on the top. Now, before I started this video, I made sure to clean off the screen on my iPad, and there is no protective coating. That's just the iPad as it comes. And then you can see this piece goes over the top here. And again, you can look, and you can see you have it on the right way by looking to make sure that everything lines up on this. It just kind of lightly snaps together. There you can see it clicking, and again, you can see they've left the hole for the camera on the front, as well as the hole for the camera on the back, as well as making sure that all the iPad functionality is accessible. Of course, the charging and the data connection port on the bottom, and the speaker is exposed right there as well. So then once you have it in its little clamshell, you just kind of peel the, oops, I have this upside down. Here we're going to turn. You can see this is kind of a flimsy rubberized case that Griffin gives you. It's got some kind of waffle backing on that, which adds a little bit of shock protection, I would imagine, when it hits the ground, if it hits the ground. And then again, there's the back side of it, and you can see it's got all the holes for all the ports, which once we put it on, you'll see how this works. So the case kind of wraps around the iPad like this, and you just kind of have to pull it around the whole outside until let's make sure it doesn't come apart, until the entire case is surrounding the iPad. There we go, making sure that everything lines up. Now, I'm not going to fully push everything into place there, but you just kind of push it around there. And once it's in, this is a very good kind of custom fit here on the case. You can see again the back is kind of sealed primarily, but they've got these little ports on here that you can peel them back. So that is the rear-mounted camera. This feels a lot more like the Panasonic Toughbook series, which has covers for all of the different ports on it by default, as opposed to the Otter Box here, which you can see it's got the same clamshell design, kind of a plastic backing to the clamshell. This is a rubberized material that provides some shock absorption on the back, and it all fits together like that too. One of the other big differences here is the Otter Box comes with a stand built in that you can put your iPad on, and even though this is in the Griffin case, you can see how that works there. And the Griffin case actually comes with a smaller stand like this that you can kind of place up and set it like that so you can still set your iPad up and tap on it. This little piece here actually collapses and goes around, can go around the outside of your Griffin case like so. So it kind of stores with it and can go with it. Again, on the back side of the Otter Box case, you can see some differences here right away. There's a permanent hole for the camera, as well as for the speaker, and the sides of these, I'm not going to fully assemble it, but are actually exposed. So both seem to offer some pretty good protection. I had the Otter Box on mine for a few months and it worked well. Of course, I didn't drop it. One of the big differences here is the Griffin Technologies claims the military drop specification, which actually says concrete floor from 6 feet. Actually, the box says that it minimizes shock and drop damage. I don't think they want you to go about testing that regularly on your iPad. I'm not going to do that on mine. But actually, from a practical standpoint, the Griffin case is a little bit more sturdy because it has the screen protection on the front. You can actually take this out in the rain without worrying that your iPad is going to get soaking wet. Both of them have a clear button on the bottom that will act as the on and off, and you can actually see the power button right there is integrated into the rubber, and it works really well. You just press that and the iPad turns on, press it again, it turns off. So again, the camera on the front is exposed all the time. The camera on the back, you need to slide this little piece apart just like that to get the camera in use. And again, this can be actually either a mute button or a button to lock the screen lock, and then the volume up and down are real similar on the back there too. So that's just a quick overview. Again, I think my favorite is the Griffin. I've had both cases here now. Some advantages of the Otter Box: it does have this built-in kind of clamshell stand that seems a little bit more substantial, that will allow the iPad to use the camera on the back and the speakers and everything while it's on. The Griffin is a little bit more sealed, maybe better suited for government, military, public works type staff, because it kind of seals that iPad. And obviously you can see, you can definitely withstand the typical incidental drops, and the iPad still works just fine. So this has been Chris Cisnowski with B&W Control Systems Integration with a review of the Griffin Survivor series, as well as the Otter Box Defender series cases for the iPad 2.